All right, hey guys, OFD checking in here. Today I wanted to do a quick kind of unboxing and about a week overview of the TISSOT SEASTAR 1000 in the Quartz model. As you guys know, I recently unboxed and talked a little bit about this one. This is the SEASTAR 1000 with the Powermatic 80. I love this watch. I can't get enough of this watch on my wrist. It's become pretty much a favorite in the collection. But there's a lot of differences between the Powermatic 80 version and this version. I'll say that kind of across the line of the SEASTARs, there's quite a bit of difference and variation in the sizes and the case design, of course in the movements between the Quartz and the automatic models, but just quite a bit of difference, and I think that leaves it kind of fun as far as the TISSOT SEASTAR line goes. You're not going to get the same watch in every single variation you pick up, whether that's the 1000, the 2000, the 43, the 46 variation, the 40 in the Quartz, or the 38 in the Quartz. There's a lot of different, I think it's 36 actually. I think there's a lot of different available stuff out there. So really quickly, I wanted to show you what you get when you pick this watch up. Now, the box itself is very simple. Somebody mentioned before that TISSOT has really slimmed down their packaging. They have not quite as much coming with it. So we'll go ahead and pull the watch itself off the pillow and talk a little bit about it. Now, I wanted to show you guys really quickly the MSRP on this watch is $450 US. You can find these at quite a discount from that, or significant discount from that. And here is the reference number on this watch here. So pretty nice watch, and one of the things that I noticed right off with this one when I pulled it out of the box was how thin it was, how lightweight it was. This is still a 300-meter dive watch in the Quartz movement, but just how thin it was. Quite a bit of design difference in the case, and I'll show you that side by side here in a minute, but I want to talk specifications on this one. I chose this particular version here. This watch is going to end up going to my wife. This is going to be her watch, but I'm a big fan of black and gold, and this one really stood out to me. It's a beautiful, beautiful watch. Now, let's talk specs. Now, this, again, just like the Powermatic 80 version, is a 40-millimeter case from side to side. Same with the lug tip to lug tip. You're coming in right about 47 lug tip to lug tip. The big difference comes in the thinness of the watch. This is just over 10 millimeters of thickness from the case back to the top of that sapphire crystal, compared to about 13 or near 13, I think about 12 and a half for the Powermatic 80 version. So that's a big difference there. The handset is the same handset. One of the big differences you'll notice right off is the difference in the thickness on that minute hand of the lume itself. Now, as far as at night goes, it doesn't really make that big of a difference for me. This one lights up at night, no problem at all. The lume is really good. It's Swiss Superluminova. It's blue. It's BGW night glows. But one of the other big differences on this one you'll notice right off is the lack of a lume pip. This on the Powermatic 80 version here on the left-hand side does have a lume pip. They're under that mineral crystal, but the Quartz version does not. One of the other things you'll notice on this particular model, I think this colorway in general, is look at how the numbers on the bezel actually disappear as you get kind of a dark reflection on them. That might annoy some people, but it's kind of one of those things that I think is kind of cool about the watch, kind of sexy the way it'll do that. So you guys can see it light changing there as it's picking up the black reflection of my phone case. I go to the gym at a Planet Fitness and another gym that have black ceilings. I can't read this bezel in those areas because the black of the ceilings actually blacks out this bezel. But for me, that's not a problem. You can see it has this bright, shiny, glossy dial on here, almost an enamel dial on this watch. And then you have applied indices all the way around, and they are circled by that gold as well, which looks really good. Flipping it over and taking a look at the case back. No open case back design on this model, but you have that classic SEASTAR logo, or SEASTAR logo, excuse me, originally called SEASTAR from TISSOT, but sapphire crystal, stainless steel, your water resistance information, everything there, and quick release spring bars, and a TISSOT actually signed rubber strap, which is cool because I can switch that back and forth between these two models. You cannot do that. This bracelet will not fit on this watch because of the difference in the case thickness. Let's get the two case sides side by side so I can show you how that looks different. So here I've got the actual Quartz model sitting on top of the Powermatic 80 version. You can see the knurling on the bezel itself is the same, but look at the difference in the case. Not only the thickness from the case back to the top of that bezel, but the cutout in the case side on the automatic version. You have a cutout side here with this polishing, whereas on this one you have a brush side and then the polishing is on the top of the lugs. Quite a bit different there, and obviously you can see the difference in the thickness. All right, so one of the biggest reasons too I also wanted to try this Tissot was the ETA press to drive movement. That's a heavy drive, highly accurate, high accuracy quartz movement here. So you're looking at 5 to 10 seconds per month being out of sync. This watch has been running perfectly since the day I pretty much started it. I will say that the Powermatic 80 is keeping right in the ballpark as well, and I have not messed with this watch since I bought it, which is pretty impressive. But these are a serviceable quartz movement. I do believe that there are 3 jewels inside of the movement. Not that you're probably going to service a quartz movement. I don't see why you would need to, because they just last forever. And with the battery inside of this watch and its single functionality of just being a single 3-hander, you're probably going to get 5 to 5.5 years of battery life out of this, which is awesome. So let's go ahead and get some light on this one and check out the lume. All right, so the lume is impressive, BGW9, and it lasts throughout the night. And as you guys can see, that minute hand, although it was thinner than the hand on the Powermatic 80 version, it is still very visible. One of the other things I'll note on the quartz version is there is no lumed pip. No, it is lumed. Actually, on that second hand, you see it passing the 12 o'clock right now. So very cool watch, great lume on this one. Let's go out on the bench. All right, so there you have it for the TISSOT SEASTAR 1000 in the quartz version, the black and gold model. Excellent watch. I cannot say anything really bad about Tissot watches. I think you get a lot for your money. I think that even though they're considered kind of entry-level Swiss watches, they're really doing a lot of good stuff over there at Tissot, and I think they make great watches. Again, this one's going to be for the wife for this summer. We're going to be doing some summer travel here coming up. Lake Tahoe and Reno. It's going to be fun. Get her a new watch to wear in the water. So, all right, guys, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up down there at the bottom. And if you've not subscribed to the OFD channel yet, please do. Please do. Thanks, guys.